Now we're going to have a look at what some of the French papers are saying this Wednesday morning. It is here in Paris. Nick is with us here on set. You're starting out with Le Figaro, looking at the ongoing tensions here in France between strikers and the government, Nick.
Well, no minute have we got the Euro 2016 tournament upon us, but still this whole question of uncertainty in France about the strike situation in terms of industrial negotiations. Le Figaro there leading on the capitulation of the government. Yes, they've been in negotiations with the railway workers at the SNCF, the state railway, and they have given in totally, says Le Figaro. But what have the three unions done? Spearheading the protest movement, they have actually decided to continue their strikes and downing tools effectively 2 days before that football tournament. Now, the government says that the paper says the government actually improved the situation for workers. It's offering extra state aid to it. Yet what we've got, if you look at the editorial, La honte nationale, a national disgrace, it says. This now is a caricature of an industrial conflict à la française, French style. This government has not 1 ounce of authority to carry out reforms of any kind, it says.
Now, you found a piece in the business daily Les Echos, which is arguing that history really is once again repeating itself.
Well, we've seen this before, haven't we, where the unions really insist on their side, their viewpoint, and they win out against French governments time and time again. Les Echos is saying, well, this was the case too in 1995 and in 2007 when the cheminots, the railway workers, won. In those previous occasions, it was actually about pension reform changes, pension scheme changes to their pension arrangements. Now, the cheminots, the railway workers, Les Echos is saying they won simply because of this football tournament, the Euro, which is now 2 days away, isn't it? It's on Friday. And the editorial there is saying, well, the French railway workers are unbeatable in terms of just defending their own interest. So just a reminder, of course, that the sticking point in negotiations with the SNCF and the unions is that they want a measure scrapped about negotiations at the local level, which would perhaps make things worse for railway workers generally. So that's the strike situation as it stands now.
OK, well, lots of other news stories in the French press as well today. The EU referendum, just over 2 weeks to go now. You'll be glad to hear we're almost behind it. The Brexit, Nick.
Well, Le Monde has an article saying that, in fact, the French, there you can see it, are among the most eurosceptic. You'd think that would be the UK, wouldn't you? But a survey by the Pew Research Center in the United States is saying that 38%, around 2 out of 5 French people, are eurosceptics. When asked the question, do you think that the EU contributes to your life? They say, well, no, it doesn't. Now, the winners in Europe are, in terms of euroscepticism, are the Greeks. France really ranking there with Greece, which is fairly extraordinary. A massive contrast, Stuart, to the situation just a decade ago. 2004, 7 out of 10 French people were very favourable to the European Union. So in terms of Brexit itself, the Pew survey shows that 1 out of 3 of the French want a Brexit, so that's not quite as much as I'd thought. I've seen other statistics showing the French are keen for the Brits to leave the EU. So the Euroscepticism, of course, growing in lots of countries around Europe.
What we could do with Nick is something over the next month to bring us all together as Europeans. What about Euro 2016? That's the hope, isn't it?
It sort of seems to have been laid on specially to distract people from the nitty-gritty of daily life. So let's go to the front page of the Freebie commuter paper, 20 Minutes, which is saying, hold on a minute, France, we've won before at home. 1984, they won the Euro, and now they've got the host again of the Euro. They won, of course, the World Cup in 1998, which is a massive boost to the national morale. Yeah. That paper very much saying, it has interviews with experts around Europe talking about the possibility of how could we win just by being hosts, and the argument is that, well, the ref might be put off off by the fact that there's so many booing and cheering from French supporters. There are going to be lots of French supporters in the stadia, but also outside on the streets. Let's go to Libération, which is looking at the sort of negative side of this concern about this Euro 2016. We've got this concerns about the terror threat. There you can see spotters, troublemaker spotters, will be out in force during the Euro tournament of 1 month. And there you can see a couple of them to keep an eye on hooligans. Now, concern especially is about an England-Slovakia match on the 20th of June. Apparently 500,000 supporters, fans from the UK are coming over to France, which is a figure that really surprised me. Just another last look at an article about the Euro, and Didier Deschamps will be centre stage, of course. He's the France coach and a national hero, isn't he? But he's been mired in controversy, hasn't he, about Eric Cantona. He, another footballing legend, said a few weeks ago that he was very wrong in his selection, not taking North African players in the France team. So, of course, that paper there saying he's looking for his mojo, he's looking for his lucky talisman in life just to get things going, as we know, 2 days to go.
Nick, thank you very much. Nick with the papers here on France 24. While Nick's been talking, I keep watching a feed we're getting from the US of a lectern with lots of people standing with placards waiting for Bernie Sanders to arrive to speak, to give his reaction to Hillary Clinton claiming the Democratic nomination. We'll bring that speech to you, of course, as it happens here on France 24, and also in the next half hour. A story of hope for you from the West Bank. We're going to be reporting on a new seed bank which has been opened there. It's a bit of a bid to ensure the survival of Palestinian heirloom seeds in a bid to stop them disappearing from local fields. That's in the next half an hour.